So the brain plan goes according to those. It goes to avoiding shrinkage and all the things we spoke about, decreasing brain toxicity. Another thing is making sure the brain has enough energy. The brain requires, even though it's only 3 pounds, it requires over 20% of the total body energy. It's a very metabolically active organ. It never shuts off. And it requires what we call mitochondrial energy. Now, mitochondria, you probably remember that term from high school somewhere.
Yeah, it sounds familiar.
Yeah, mitochondria are little organelles that are in every cell in your body.
Organelles?
Organelles, little teeny little
great.
organelles, very cute little, almost little cells, and they sit inside every cell in your body. In fact, if we took them all out of your body, they'd weigh about 15 pounds. And mitochondria are responsible for generating every bit, 100% of the energy in your body and in your brain. What they do basically is they convert the food you eat to energy.
Okay.
And when they run out of steam, your body runs out of steam, your brain runs out of steam. Mitochondrial fatigue is one of the leading causes of weakness and lethargy in people.
Okay.
And they require very specific nutrients in order to function. So therefore, we want you to consume these nutrients to maintain a very healthy, active creation of the fuel they generate, ATP, which is the energy of your body. So the B complex, especially B2 and B3, alpha-lipoic acid, pantothenic acid, N-acetylcysteine, carnitine, the ribose. We want those in our diet every day. And if you're taking the right supplementation, you can literally do two things. Support the mitochondria that you've already got and do something else, which is relatively new, called mitochondrial biogenesis, literally creating new mitochondria.
That sounds very science fiction, but amazing.
Well, if you had told me that in 1963, I would have said you're out of your mind. I mean, if you would have told me in 1963 that your heart can create new muscle, new cardiomyocytes, no way, that's impossible, but it can. One other aspect which is really interesting out of the University of Wisconsin is normalizing the amount of calcium in the brain. Calcium is required in your brain for neurotransmission, for your brain to be talking to other neurons. It's a very important mineral. However, as we get older, the binding sites on the neurons for calcium tend to fade away. So calcium gets into your brain. The body allocates about 10 to 15% of your total body calcium to go to the brain, to go to the nervous system. And when it gets into the brain, gets into the nervous system, it doesn't have a binding site anymore. As you're getting older, these binding sites are starting to disappear, again, at age 39 or 40. Wow. So the calcium now becomes toxic. So the scientists at the University of Wisconsin said, well, what are we going to do to fix binding sites? Where in nature does this not happen? Well, the only place it doesn't happen is in a jellyfish. Jellyfish never has a problem with calcium binding sites.
I didn't expect you to say jellyfish.
Nobody does. But what they did at the University of Wisconsin was they isolated the calcium binding sites, created a synthetic format of that as a supplement and given to people. You've now got your binding sites back. That's part of your brain plan. So it continues on and on and on. We could talk about it forever. But